Hello and welcome to the JTrain podcast. This is JTrain, Jared Freid, and it is a Chit Chat Wednesday. Today's guest, he's been on the JTrain podcast before. He's a fantastic comic. Eric Neumann, he's got a special out. As always, the special link is in the description of this episode. It wasn't out when we taped this, but I will tell you this. Eric is hilarious. I see him at the Comedy Cellar all the time. And it's about being engaged or being pre-engaged. I think he was going to be engaged. It's called, his special's called Almost Engaged. So he wasn't engaged yet, but like ring in hand. And we talk about, the trials and tribulations of going through that, the emotional, roller coaster. So check out the special, but especially check out this chit chat with Eric and I. He's fantastic. You're going to love this episode. Boom. Hello and welcome to the JTrain podcast. This is JTrain, Jared Freid, coming to you live from the West Village of Manhattan. That's right, every Wednesday is a Chit Chat Wednesday, where I have a guest on who is a friend, a comedian, an expert. Today, I have three of those things. I have a friend, a comedian, hilarious comedian, and an expert in almost being married. Because they have a special coming out all about getting engaged and breaking off the engagement. It is called, I'm not speaking out of turn because it's called Almost Engaged. That is the name of the special. I think it's going to be out right now when this comes out. Eric Neumann, thank you for coming on the show.
JTrain, what a pleasure, man.
How are you? I thought I would have gotten more of a reaction out of you when I referenced that you were an expert in almost being... It's almost engaged. So you weren't even engaged. You were almost engaged.
I was almost engaged. We were very close.
And the special's out. Where is it? What's going on? It's on YouTube. It's
on YouTube. Yeah, so I did. I'll tell you. Well, let me just backtrack for a second here. So last time I chit-chatted with you, I believe I was doing it from my almost fiance's aunt's Hampton's house. And now we are promoting a special about how it didn't work out. So it's a nice full circle story, I think, here, Jared.
And you're not in the Hamptons anymore. From the penthouse to the outhouse, as they say.
Yeah, I'm not. Now I'm in a small one-bedroom apartment again, man.
This is the story that they tell you that they warn you about. They say, get married, get a house, go to the Hamptons. Now I'm looking at your surroundings. There's a blanket, a stray. There's a painting on the wall. It doesn't even look like it's yours. Is this a sad tale?
Sad old blanket that needs to be replaced.
A weird painting. What painting is that behind you?
Well, I'll tell you, to make it even sadder, since we're on that theme, my brother is going through a divorce and he's still paying rent for another year to his soon-to-be ex-wife, so I took him in. He's living in my living room right now. So this is his stupid idea. This dumb painting.
Wait, your brother? We're finding out why he's getting a divorce. Your brother is going through a divorce, and then he's sleeping on your couch, and then he says, "Put this painting on the wall."
Yeah, I guess, dude. I guess.
Well, how does that even happen? How does that conversation happen? I don't understand. He comes with a painting under his arm and like a backpack, and then he's like, make sure that, like, the idea that you would put this up is crazy.
I know, it's nuts, but I'm like, all right, whatever. I think he wants to like make an illusion of the fact that he kind of has his own space in my space. So like if he brings a girl back one night, he's like, oh, this is my bed and my painting. I don't fucking know, dude.
Well, so you're on the couch right now that he sleeps on, near the blanket that he covers himself at night, and he wipes his tears from his eyes from the divorce, and below the painting that I'm taking the painting. Like, I don't even think I would take the painting. I'd go, you take it. I don't need it. I mean, it's a weird painting. I'm only seeing a quarter of it.
It's weird here. There you go. That's the whole thing.
If you're watching on YouTube, you can see the painting.
Where is this? I think it's probably Amalfi Coast or something.
It looks like where they got engaged. I mean, to me, that's like a therapist might say, hey, maybe you should get rid of that painting. It's bringing up a lot of bad memories.
It's a lot. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing here. Yeah, he's just gonna draw him and his ex-wife in some
right. Well, there's a guy on TikTok that draws in Simpsons characters into paintings like that.
Oh,
which
I've
is
seen
pretty
that
cool.
guy. Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hold on. So, is there a curse on the family? What's going on?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mess with my mom all the time because my brother's also in entertainment. So
Okay.
I'll like mess with my mom. I'll be like, well, mom, I know that our careers make you really worried, but at least our romantic lives are in good shape. And she's like, yeah. So,
Right.
But I don't know, man. So but the difference is his situation was really set up to fail. Like he got his. I'm talking about it now on stage finally, but he.
You're talking about his relationship on stage.
I'm talking about his relationship on stage because they're getting divorced now. So I don't care about like upholding a relationship with her anyway. So it's whatever. But basically he like met she was from Peru, and so he met her in Peru and then like flew her over here. And they got married here, and marriage lasted like 2 years or whatever. But it's I don't like to poke blame at either one like specifically. I mean, like they both did really shitty things, but like whatever. Anyway, he bought her a $1,200 ring in Macy's. So right there, I was already like, all right, I don't have that much faith in.
So there wasn't a lot of investment in it. I mean, when you have 2 years and a $1,200 ring, undoing that. You just got to take your painting and leave. It's like
no, but there's a kid. I do.
Well, then this is a very different story. The way you painted it is not how it's. That's a different tale.
Yeah. So she lays on this. This is partially her blanket. Also 2 days.
Stop it! Come on! I have an audience that likes to be happy from this show. What are you doing?
I'm sorry.
So the kid is on your couch.
2 days a week. 2 days a week.
Hey, what's going on? We gotta send child services. What's going on?
I know, dude. But you know what though, man? Like I'm happy for him because it was just like a really bad situation. But whatever. He'll be here for a year and then they'll figure it out. But he's still paying rent over there, so I want to make it easy on him in one way.
I got you. So hold on. So your special, it's called Almost Engaged.
Yeah.
The link to the special is going to be in the bio of this episode on YouTube as well as anywhere you listen to the show. What is the, how do you go about talking about it? Well, first of all, let's start with, are you dating now?
I just started seeing someone. It's only like a month. I want to see where it goes. She's great. I've actually met her at the Cellar, and I do this thing now. Wait, Jared, I don't know if I told you this. So I'll occasionally I'll drop off a napkin note. If I see a girl in the crowd that I really like, they call me Napkin Neumann over there now.
Really? I had no idea.
Yeah.
Napkin Neumann.
God, I'm actually really regretting telling you this because one-on-one, I forget, like we're one-on-one right now and it feels like it's very confidential, but then I'm going to see you around Liz like tomorrow and I know it's going to be a big thing.
Napkin Neumann has such a ring to it. How could I forget? It's like it's a branding. It's a, this is good marketing for you. So how many times have you left a napkin for a woman? I have never done anything like this. So you
have more integrity than me, Jared.
I don't know if it's a not integrity move. Yeah. I guess my thing with the napkin thing, I've been given the napkin after a show, which is always very nice. And some people do the napkin better than others. And so what do? You see someone in the crowd. First of all, you're at work, dude. Like, what's going on?
Whatever.
Okay, whatever. And so now I'm seeing how the whole family operates. Whatever. We'll fly her in from Peru. We'll have the kids sleep on the ottoman. Whatever. I'll work on my bits tomorrow. I'm handing out notes tonight. It's Napkin Neumann.
It's a carefree world we're living in, Jared. But
I guess so.
No, but honestly, I don't go on dating apps. I've never been on dating apps. I'm like pretty vocal about that. I just like meeting people in the wild. That's my whole thing. So if I see a girl and I think she's like really pretty and she's laughing a lot, that's a big factor for me, right? Because you know how it is, right? You ever see like a table of girls and they're just not laughing and you're like, fuck these people.
Nothing is more attractive. I think it is one thing that like women, they know this. Yeah. And they'll make fun of it. You'll see the TikToks of like fake laughing at a guy. Keep fake laughing. You want to get a guy. A good laugh to me is like that is.
It's everything.
It's everything. When someone has a loud, good laugh, it does, and it's got to be somewhat genuine. You can tell when someone's just laughing at anything, but you feel it in your soul. It fills your cup, so to speak. It is actually satiating. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like at the Cellar, I'll host mostly. I do spots sometimes, but I'll mostly host, right? So I'll host, and then I'll just like sit back. I'm like, okay, my job is more or less done for the night, right?
Well, also as the host, if I'm thinking of Napkin Newman's game plan, when you host, as I've hosted myself, you get a lay of the room. Your whole job is to like keep this thing together. You're holding all the strings. You're holding the seams together of the room. So you have to know the right side's pretty good, the left side's okay. There's a table over there that's a little talkative. So you're the maestro. So it makes sense that you would like see a table. Okay, the good laughing young women table.
Yep.
Okay, where are you guys from? And your job is to like kind of get the crowd going and talk to them. Oh, we're from out of town. So then you start to get their story. Who's single in the room? And you see they all cheer. You go, okay, I know their deal. Like there's a fact-finding mission as a host that you're doing anyways.
Right, exactly. So it kind of like leads me like naturally into that anyway. But then like I'll like, because there's one experience being on stage and then there's an experience sort of watching everybody else on stage, right? So like if I bring you up and then I like watch that same group, like I look at this one girl and I'm like, oh, she's so pretty, she's got great energy. Then I watch her cracking up at watching you on stage. I'm like, okay, she's awesome. Like,
right, she's cool. She gets it. Well, that's the fun of bringing someone to a comedy show on a date. It's like it's not a good first date. It's a great fifth date.
100%, dude. First date, I don't understand. Like, I'm so attracted to like troublesome situations that like like chaotic, like chaos, that like I'm gonna go in deep on a first date couple in the front row, but I don't understand it from their perspective at all. Why they thought it was gonna be a good idea, dude. That's
I
crazy.
think it is a little crazy. It's a little like it to me. It's like it's thoughtless. Like, did you really want to get to know each other? Like, did you, again, it's like, we say this on the U Up podcast a lot. It's like, are you showing or are you telling? Like, that's like, that is a little bit like telling someone you like comedy is bringing them to the first date comedy show. Showing them is like having a conversation on the date, getting to know them, and then finding out who they're into. And then, there's actually a, date 4, I got us tickets because you mentioned, you're showing them that you took an interest, not just telling them this is something I am interested in,
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I wanted to ask you about this. I think I meant to ask you about this anyway the other night. Do you think you have a pretty good read on when a couple, I know it's probably a little like, do you think you have generally a good read on, not like necessarily a first date, but if a couple is in good shape? When you're on stage.
When you're on stage, you can kind of tell. There's sometimes where it feels like they got in a fight in the car.
Yes.
And you'll say hi to them and where are you guys from and how long you been together. I can feel it, especially in the way the guy says they're together. Like if he's like being weird about saying how long they've been together. Like I get it. You get it wrong. You don't remember when did we start dating, when did we not. You can always tell when a couple's like comfy, cozy together or when something's gone off track.
Yeah. No, I wanted to pick your brain about that because I think I have a pretty good read of whether, and again, it's always skewed, right? When they get into a fight a little, earlier in the day, whatever. So it's definitely not like, it's not obviously 100% accurate, but I think I do have like a pretty good read on
when a couple's having fun together, when they're laughing and like you start talking to them and they're like having fun with that interaction. I tend to believe that like the couple's great. Like I'm like, they must really like each other. They must be really comfortable because they can let me, be the jokester and ask them questions. And it's like when they start lying and telling you other things you go, there's something off about them or they're delusional together. I think that's like part of the reason people get in relationships is like it's someone else who like lets their delusion run rampant. Yes. And so they both can live in this fake world where everyone else is the problem except us.
Right.
You see those couples that are doing well for like a bad reason.
Yeah, 100%. And you're right, dude. That is it. When they let you dictate the fun, that means that they're really comfortable enough with one another that they don't really have much to lose.
Right. There's nothing to lose. You know, they're like, oh, like I'm not going to like be, they're not having this to find out about me in this conversation. They already know me. I'm comfortable that they know me. I don't, this comedian's not going to ruin
everything. Yeah, exactly.
You know, the act that I've been putting on, you know, because when they get mad when you've kind of ruined the narrative that they've built. Like, oh, so what do you do? And they're like, well, I work in, finance. What kind of finance? They're like, I'm a bank teller. You're like, oh, really? And then the girlfriend's like, really? Like, you can see things have gone off track for them. You've ruined the story.
Right, exactly. Well, I always say, like, if I ruin a relationship, I didn't ruin the relationship.
No, it was to be ruined.
Yeah, it was.
So, okay, so
I did ruin my relationship, though. I will.
Before we get to your ruined relationship.
Yeah.
So you meet the person that you've been dating like a month. Yeah. They're in the crowd. You assess. They're cool. They're laughing. What do you write on the napkin?
Well, this one I actually met going to the bathroom at the Cellar. But I just said, like, are you single? And she was, and we started dating. But generally...
Hold on. You're going to the bathroom. You're going to the bathroom, or she is?
She was going to the bathroom. I was hosting at the Village Underground.
Okay, so she walks by...
on that show, dude. I think you might have closed that show, actually.
Really? Right. And she's walking by like the table in the back and you go, hey, where are you going? Are you single?
I saw her online coming into the VU. I just like noticed her. I was like, this girl's so pretty. And then I just happened to see her going to the bathroom. She's like passing right by me. And I was like, oh, fuck it. And like something just makes me go for it. Like I just have that thing where I have to go. I got to go for it. So I was like, hey, are you single? And she was. And we've been talking for a month and I really like her. And we'll see what happens.
There we go. So what are you writing on these napkins though?
I've written, I customized.
Check yes if you like me. Check no. Check yes if you think I'm funny and would blow me.
Turn this into a paper airplane, a napkin airplane, and fly it back to me. I think I usually just go like, hey, I think you're really pretty. You have a great laugh. Like if you're single, text me. Or if there was something that happened in the front, if there was something that happened in the show that I think would be cute to write on the napkin to like, make it even more like inside jokey or whatever, I'll do that.
Are you giving your number?
I will give my number when I do the napkin note, yeah.
So it's, hey, that dude in the front really sucks, huh? Like you like throw someone under the bus. Here's my number if you're down to get a drink. Is that the move?
Yeah. If you're single, text me. I'll usually I'll tell you what happened one time, dude. I was talking to this couple in the front. And it was just one of those, like we were talking about, where you could just tell it was a bad vibe. You could just tell by body language. They're not even close to touching each other. Like, it's like, And then actually on her way back from the bathroom, she came up to me and she was like, you're right. Like, I said something about how the date wasn't going well.
Broke up a couple.
Yeah, and she's like, yeah, this is our second date. We're not going out again. And then her and I actually ended up going out. We went out once. It didn't work out. But that happens sometimes also. But, yeah, with the napkin notes, I generally just say something real, like, just very brief. And then, well, actually, dude, I don't know if you know this story. The first time I ever did it was during COVID. Remember when we were performing behind glass at Olive Tree? Yeah. And I had just got out of an 8-year relationship. And I don't think you ever met my ex. I call her my ex once removed. That's my. But I got out of an 8-year relationship, and it was the firlike time I was like trying to like talk to her, or, like hit on a girl, like since my breakup. So I wrote a napkin note. Then I went to go to New York. Oh, sorry. I like messed up the napkin note. I wrote another one. I gave it to her. Then I went to New York Comedy Club to that rooftop. Remember we were performing on that rooftop in New York on like 5th Avenue and 23rd or whatever. And then I came back to the Cellar again, and everybody was laughing at me at the table. And I was like, why are you guys laughing? And Liz found the first draft that I left behind and like screenshotted it and sent it to everybody. And yeah, it was just so sad, bro.
So the first draft was like, hey, I think you're awesome, and like awesome spelled wrong. Like it's like
this sucks.
And you cross it out. Oh, you're pretty cool. I mean, whatever. Here's my number. If you think I'm cool, check this box. Never mind. And you didn't throw it away? Like I would like burn that thing. I wouldn't let anyone see it ever.
Dude, it was so embarrassing, dude. She still has it. Liz will bring it up to me like every so often. She'll be like, I gotta find that note.
So we are sponsored. Hero Bread. Eating bread shouldn't mean throwing in the towel and having a cheat day. Finally, there's bread that can be good for you and taste amazing. That's Hero Bread. And I can attest to it. It's delicious. It's great. I love it on a sandwich. I love it in the morning as toast with my eggs and turkey bacon or chicken sausage. When I'm in the zone, dialed in, Hero Bread is something that makes me feel comfy, cozy. And it's made with great stuff. It's got fluffy texture, and you never really know. I can attest to that. And it's got low net carbs, high fiber, and 0 grams of sugar. It tastes just like the regular stuff. So if you had the choice between bread and highly efficient bread that's going to make you fuller longer, you're going to take the efficient bread. That's Hero Bread. I have it. It's in my freezer. I make it with breakfast. It's great. I've made sandwiches with it. It's just, I can't tell you. I hate to say there's no difference, because that makes it sound like it's like this like different thing. It's bread. It's great. And it's better for you. Check out Hero Bread's newest drops. They're doing drops like they're Missy Elliott here. They have classic plain bagel with 4 net carbs, 0 grams of sugar, and 19 grams of protein, so protein goals. And the everything bagel with 5 net carbs and 17 grams of protein. So it's time you finally enjoyed your diet. Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order. Go to hero.co. Use code JTrain at checkout. That's JTrain at HERO.co. The almost engagement. Yeah. You're talking about it. I mean, like, are you afraid, are you afraid, like, to me, like, I've gone through breakups, and I'm not looking to talk about someone on stage. Like, I don't want it, like, it's very difficult for me to, like, be, not that I can't be personal about myself, but I would think in an almost engagement, you have someone else kind of like their feelings on the line too, right?
Yeah. So that's interesting. So my whole thing was, I wanted to, it was definitely the most heartbreaking thing I've ever experienced. It took me really, we talked about it a bunch of times, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I would see you and I would, I told you about it and all that stuff, and you happened to sort of know the person. So, but.
Did you have the ring?
No. What?
Did you have a ring?
The ring was at the jeweler.
Ring was chosen.
Ring was chosen.
And then what's the entry point for talking about it on stage? You just say I was almost engaged?
Yeah, like I talk about so I really tried to, like you said, it's like, even I'm the type of person where it's like, even though we ended really badly and we don't have any contact, I still, to some large degree want to respect her and like not be like, I don't like, there's so obviously like, you're in a relationship with someone and you find out so much personal information about them and their history and their trauma and whatever. And there's so many things that if I was a shittier person, I could just go in on and talk about. I didn't want to do that.
Even saying this right now, like, is more personal than I would be. I don't know.
I'm very like upfront about things. I think sometimes to a fault, but like, my whole thing was, look, I wanted to talk about it, like, and I was angry, dude. I was like really angry and sad during the breakup, and just felt like it was handled really poorly on her end and whatever. Probably again more than you would talk about, but I made a conscious effort to, as I was writing, there was a lot of stuff I wrote that kind of came off as more like shitty or vindictive or whatever, and I kind of scrapped all that. And so in the final product, I think I really did a good job of keeping it respectful. Look, if she watched all of it, do I think there'll be moments that she'll probably get pissed off about? Yeah, sure. But like, we also went through a heartbreaking break.
Right, there's 3 sides to every story. There's your side, their side, and the truth that's somewhere in between. And it's also like from your perspective. When you tell people that you're dating now, like, I was almost engaged, what's the response? Because I think a lot of women will judge a guy like whether they've been close to an engagement, have they lived with it, will they commit, what made them not commit? Like, did you notice that people were like, did you get a response that was like weird from that, or did you get?
Dude, I love that question, because I think I'm I don't know. I'm very like a what you see is what you get kind of person. So I went into first dates a lot. I mean, look, I always say I'm like I felt bad for anybody that I dated the first year of my breakup because they really didn't have a shot, dude. Like I was just like still it actually took me it's been almost 2 years since we broke up. I would say like 4 months ago was the moment I woke up and I said to my therapist, I was like, I'm over it.
Yeah.
Uh, and that was like and there were moments in that first year and a half where I really was convinced I was like I would like when I said it to someone, oh, I'm over it, like I actually believed it, and then something would happen or I'd find something out and then I'd be hurt by it, so I'd be like, okay, I'm not over it. Now I am. But yeah, I was the people I would date, and I was dating I was dating first 3 4 months I didn't hook up with anyone. I really actually found out I was like healthy. I thought I was always like a pretty unhealthy person, but going through that breakup taught me I was healthier than I thought because I was like performing every night, like taking long walks, exercising. I like joined yoga. I read a lot. I wasn't like getting weight.
What brought you to yoga? Well, I was almost engaged. Yeah, that's like I figured I'd stretch.
Dude, that's so funny. It's trauma yoga.
It's just a weird reason to do yoga. Like
it is. It's so weird. Dude, I love yoga. By the way, speaking of couples, last night I was talking to this couple in the front row, like dating a year, and I'm like, "What do you do?" And she's like, "I'm a yoga instructor." I'm like, "I literally love yoga. Like, I love yoga."
Yeah.
I started getting into it, and I'm like, "Does he go?" And she's like, "He went once. He sucks." And I'm like, "I don't like the. I just
he sucks." I'd be like, "Yeah, like he doesn't do it. Why would he be any good?"
Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't like the vibe. But yeah, so I didn't hook up with anybody for 3 4 months, and then I started dating people, and and I would talk about her a lot. And I'm very like I'm like living something. I'm a very. It's so hard for me to go back and do like really old material because I'm so emotionally tied to what I'm currently performing and writing that once I'm over it. Like I don't want to like the material that I'm putting out on the special. I don't want to do anymore because I'm like
right. Well, there's two things. It takes me a while to like put everything into perspective. Like the stuff I'm talking about right now happened 3 years ago, 4 years ago. So like I needed to like have some time away from it to be able to like, and I'm still working through thoughts on it. But like I do understand this idea of like, you know, you went through this thing, you start talking about it, and then it's like the more you talk about it, the more you're like scratching at the wound. And it's like, I just need to get these jokes out of me. I felt that way with COVID stuff. I was like, just get the COVID stuff out of me and put it somewhere so that I could kind of move on from. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
By the way, your stuff that because I've been watching you so often lately, dude, your set that you're focusing on like going to Europe alone. I don't know if that
Thanks, man.
there. I'm not gonna give
no.
But just all that stuff with like going to the restaurant and all that, dude, like so funny, bro.
Thank
like,
you, man.
You're just building it, and it's like I get excited when I see like just from a strictly like writing comedic standpoint, just like watching a buddy like add tags, and you're like, oh, that tag wasn't there on Thursday, but now it is, and it's killing, and like, yeah. But
thanks, man.
But anyway, but right, that's the whole thing, dude. It's like you if you're in touch with your emotions enough, you're writing from a really honest place. And whatever that process is for you is that process for you. So for me, it's like I'm going through like while I was hurting and trying to heal as best as possible, I was writing through it. And then by the time I recorded it, I was like maybe 75% healed from the trauma of it.
It was time to get it out there.
It was time to get it out. And I needed
What's your favorite joke on the special? Premise.
God. So here's the thing I want to say before that.
Okay.
It's about 40 minutes, I'd say, and maybe a minute under or over. We're about, but the first 20 is kind of regular material. The last 20 is about the breakup. But favorite joke premise. Well, the thing that really like, I'm going to talk about, you're going to see this anyway, but she moved out from the time we broke up to the time she moved all her furniture out was like 5 days. Like it happened really, really quickly. So I wrote, so the premise of the joke is like, I mean, you know, this is a stand-up, like our what we claim is often like very wonky, right? Because we have a lot of expenses as comics, and there's travel and there's whatever, right? So I wasn't showing actually enough
the
money.
tax
Like,
stuff.
Tax stuff, right? So she had a full-time job that she showed a good income, and I don't. Even though I made more money than her. And so when she moved out,
just so everyone knows,
just so everyone knows I made more money than her. Breadwinner, look what you lost. But when I was trying to reapply for the apartment, it was a nightmare, dude. Because they like didn't want me to stay. Like it was like, so I wrote a lot about that. How just like, you know,
right? You could have been your brother sleeping on some couch, you know, at the door with your painting,
weird ass painting.
Yeah. Man, okay, what's a joke that you wish you had more time to work on? This is always this is my favorite question to ask.
That's a great question, dude. You know what? It's like, and I want to ping this back at you after I answer it, but like, because I'm curious to hear your thoughts anyway. Like, it's so hard to tell in general when the exact right time is to put a joke out, right?
Right.
You're like, okay, could I spend another year workshopping this, going around the country, trying it out with different tags or whatever? Yeah. I always just kind of go off my instincts. If I'm like, okay, like, could I probably have another tag or two to this? Yeah. But I kind of just feel done with this and I want to move on to another joke. So I don't know. But I guess if I had one more year, I probably would have just like, I'm sure I would have like developed the bits a little bit more, fine-tuned stuff a little bit better.
I mean, I have a bit on the Tonight Show that I did about my mom ordering coffee, and I'm like, man, that wasn't ready at all, but it was like the one they liked. So I was like, I go and did it, and I'll never forget. My mom was like, "You shouldn't do the coffee joke." I'm like, we're doing this in 10 minutes. Like, are you out of your mind? Like. And now I still tell the story. Like there's another part of the story that I like, may have been, that's the thing with like bits that like are like kind of there enough to get a laugh that you kind of lean on because you're like, I need to fill the time and I'll work on it a little. And then when you get one to the place that you're like, this one's done, you're like, you look at that other one, you're like, I could have done more with that. It's like, I had this whole thing about my mom. The whole thing is they wouldn't let her take cups from Dunkin' Donuts. They kept like being like, no cups. And I was like, what happened? Like, and she had like gotten in an argument with them because she was stealing so many cups that they started charging people for cups at Dunkin' Donuts at like the local Dunkin' Donuts. And I'm like, this is so crazy. No one would believe it. Like it's set on the wall, 10 cents a cup. And then they're yelling at her, no cups. You're done. And I'm like, what happened here? It was like showing up to, and I'm like, I like look back on that joke and I'm like, it was Tonight Show, like who even saw, like you want to bring it back, like
Well, that's the thing. That's so funny, dude. Just her putting the coffee shop in somewhat of a cup deficit is just so funny.
Right.
But you're right though, dude. But the other thing I realized though, now more than ever, I think like back in the day with stand up, you like put out a special and like that's the bit and it's cemented and this is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to evolve and whatever. And I actually think we're in a place now where it's like more forgiving. Like you could put up a premise, right, online, like a face to camera or something, right? That's like just kind of a premise that has some funny lines in it, but it's not like a fully fledged bit. And then you can go on stage and work on it and like expand it or whatever.
Right. That's different. I agree. I agree with you on that. Like that to me, that's how I like work out stuff. I'm like, oh, people like this idea. Like, what's the story? What's the personal story to it?
Yeah, attached to it. Right. So you can, and then they're like, and I feel like your diehard fans are going like, oh wow, I remember that when it was just like this like funny like line or whatever, and now it's like it has all these added layers to it, and they're excited that they got to kind of see that process a little bit. So I don't think like so it's hard to know. Like honestly, there's a bunch of bits that I watched, and I'm like, I probably could have like added a better angle to that or whatever. But, I just keep going. I try not to dwell on it,
Everyone go watch the special. I haven't seen it yet because it's not out yet. We're taping this before it's out, but this will be out by the time. I'm sure it's hilarious. I love watching Eric on stage. He's so funny. At I am Eric Neumann on all platforms. The special's called Almost Engaged. The link to it is in the bio of this episode. It's ready for you to watch on a date night, on a night on the couch, even on your phone while you're in the shitter. Why not? So, Neumann, thank you for coming on. Napkin Neumann.
Thanks, JTrain. I appreciate it.
I'll never forget it. We'll be back next week. Boom.